Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys of Magic. This is Hunter, Shane, and David. Say what up, boys.
Yo,
What up, nerd boys and one girl?
And one
just
girl?
one?
We looked it up. It's one girl.
Oh.
No, there's 1.4% female audience.
Shouts out to them.
It's not just one girl. It could be more. But, yes, hello. We are back for the final day of Dominaria United spoilers on August 26th, 2022. The whole set has been released. So, as our tradition here around at Guys at Magic, we like to go ahead and look at some of the cards we might have missed in the previous spoiler days, as well as talk about some of the cards from today, obviously. So, first and foremost, let's talk about the final rare of the set they announced. This is the Cruelty of Gix. The Cruelty of Gix is 3 and 2 black for an enchantment saga. It's got the read ahead mechanic, meaning you can start on any of the lore counters. The first lore counter says target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature or planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card. The second lore counter is search your library for a card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle. You lose 3 life. And the third lore counter is put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. David, start with you.
Well, I look at a card like this, and I immediately think they're actually going to manage to sucker me back into standard to go play like a Soul Tie, like mid-rangey build with the new Goyf and Liliana of the Veil, and then this. And
Oh my god, you're playing standard again?
don't get your hopes up. I said might, okay, but my pants are most certainly pretty moist.
I would love to play you in standard.
Yeah, with a real standard deck and not some abomination you build. Yeah, I'd love that too.
I mean, he plays Explorer and Pioneer and plays those decks against us.
I don't have any standard legal decks on Arena.
Hey, but this card's cool, yeah?
I think this card is great. 5 mana might be a little bit too slow considering, I mean, if you are having 5 mana sitting around, you might as well just cast like a 5/7 fucking King Kong. But yeah, this is cool. I really like what this card does.
Yeah, because we don't have these effects in standard at the moment, I don't think. So it's good.
A little tutor effect?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah,
it's tutor and the recursion.
5 mana, whole, like Thoughtseize thing too. It's like it does everything that black wants to do, stapled on the one card.
Yeah.
Which lore counter would you start?
1.
Probably 1.
You think so?
Yeah, because I like all 3 modes and I don't want to read ahead. This is a story I'm gonna savor.
I don't think that first lore counter is, I know it's a disruption type thing, but on turn 5 isn't slow.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Doesn't stop me, Hunter.
I think it's a little slow, man. But I do think it'll see play just for the tutor aspect of it. I think most people will start on lore counter too.
I mean,
personally.
Or the recursion part that doesn't even have to grab something from your graveyard. It's just a graveyard.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty good, dude. Pretty good.
It's like the priest from yesterday for the clerics. You can just tap 5, sack a cleric, and go grab any black card in your deck and put it on the battlefield. Black creature, sorry. Also a pretty great effect. Might see play with this alongside of it.
You never know.
You never know.
Good card.
But yeah, that was the final rare for today. The final uncommon today is also another black card. This is Knight of Dusk Shadow. Knight of Dusk Shadow is 1 and a black for a 2/2 creature human knight. It has menace. It says your opponents can't gain life. And you could pay 1 and a black. A Knight of Dusk Shadow gets +1/+1 till end of turn.
It's like a good bear.
Seems very good.
Yeah. I think you can play this in a strictly, at least in standard, it seems powerful enough for standard.
In a very distant past, I think this would be a rare.
But the power creep is too nuts, is that what you're saying?
I am saying that, yes.
I think depending on the limited format, it could have been. I think your opponents can't gain life clause on this is kind of weird. I'm not really sure how it fits in, but I don't know if there are life gain decks out there running around. This makes for a really strong sideboard piece.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. There are.
Wasn't the clerics deck a life gain deck, Hunter?
Yes, it was. I don't think it's going to be a thing without Righteous Valkyrie, but
yeah, that's true.
That was like
seems like a decent card though.
The staple of the deck. But there is still life gain with the Artifact Sack deck. That's very life gainy.
Life Genie.
So who knows? Night of the Shadow seems like a really good bear, like you said. The menace and just being able to pump it for as much as you want.
Yeah.
Also very good.
Late game sync, dude. Not bad.
Mm-hmm. You got anything else to say, Dave, before we move on?
Not really. I'm actually not super thrilled with this card. I think it's just okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
not nutting over it. I'm just saying it's okay.
So these next 5 cards are the common cards that were announced today that are the most upvoted on the subreddit of Magic the Gathering. So starting with the first one, this is Shadow Prophecy. Shadow Prophecy is 2 and a black for an instant. It has domain. It says look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. Put up to 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. You lose 2 life. Is a very powerful effect.
Dude,
I love
even
this.
it's like even in a 2-color fucking deck, you just get to take 2 cards.
Yeah, you get to
Potentially. Potentially.
go look at the top 2, put 2 of them into your hand, rest is your graveyard. The other thing, it's like Read the Bones, people were saying, and that was played
This
a
seems so
lot.
much better. Dude, I think this card is really dope. So not only are you like, you're not doing the scry thing, but you're dumping it into the graveyard. So if you are playing a deck that cares about your graveyard, you're helping to fuel that. This also, pretty realistically, I am expecting this to say domain of 3. Like you play a Triome and you've got 3. And then we had basic lands today that got announced as well that had like they had 2 different basic land types on them that are going to be jumping around and running around in the set. So like, I think this card pretty consistently is just going to say, look at the top 3 cards of your library.
Grab 2. Yeah.
Grab 2, rest in your graveyard.
Up to 2 too. So like, even if you don't want them, you can just throw them into the graveyard if that helps to fuel. And since like you can look at them and be like, okay, well, you know what? I don't want another basic land, or this creature isn't really going to be appropriate for this situation. You can throw them into the graveyard. You don't have to worry about the whole like, okay, I'm going to draw that later, and I know that that's not going to help me.
We've already seen those Reanimator decks in Standard right now, and they're pretty annoying. This is only going to fuel those.
Yep.
At instant speed, dude. Rip.
Hold up your removal, and if you don't need it, cast this instead. It's going to be fucking great.
Yeah, you can. You would probably play this in that one deck you played, Greasefang, David. Play Greasefang in that.
Maybe, possibly. I don't actually think so, but it could.
You throw stuff in your graveyard, make Greasefang, bring it back.
Yeah, but the things that throw stuff into your graveyard, the Greasefang bronze, are like either 1 or 2 mana.
Fair enough.
You like the little nod to your Lord Windgrace there, bud?
I do, Lord Gringrace, grant me wisdom. Yeah, don't know why he's granting wisdom, but sure.
He's wise.
Cool card, dude. Cool card.
We spent a lot of time talking about a common. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all commons. This next one, Shore Up. Shore Up is 1 blue mana for an instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 and gains hexproof to end a turn. Untap it.
Love it. Just fucking absolute stud.
Yeah, the untap it makes this better than most.
3 of, maybe 4 of.
I actually hate this card.
I'm sure you do. I don't care. This card's amazing, David.
It's a protection spell. Protection spells.
That's why I hate it.
They've always been in Standard. As of recently, especially, there's a ton of phasing out cards. This is gonna go into a lot of those decks.
Now,
it's gonna be a combat trick. You can untap your creature, block with it, dude. Like you do a lot of shit, dude.
Let my removal remove.
No, Dave.
David being the black player and Shane being the blue player is just like a great combination with this.
I mean, we always do. We butt heads every time.
David's like, I love this card, and Shane's like, I love this card. Yeah, black and blue.
Hey, before this video started, dude, it's like what you said. I'm the bread that holds this together.
The bread.
You're our soggy bread, dude.
Soggy bread, dipped in water.
Hunter, just be on my side, Hunter. This card's really, really good.
Oh, of course I'm on your side, dude. Shore Up. This is a great card.
I mean, I'm on your side as well. This isn't a card that I'm gonna play. It's a card that's gonna get played against me.
Yeah. Like it is an instant. Like it will be played 100%.
Yes, sir. Moving on to the third most liked. This is in Thrall to the Pit. In Thrall to the Pit is 3 and a red for a sorcery. Has a kicker of 2 and a black. It says gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. If the spell was kicked, sack that creature.
Go ahead, Dave.
This card sacks it for you.
It does, and it's only 7 mana to do that.
It is. It is a lot. Don't get me wrong. But
I mean,
yes,
you could just steal it for 4, and then you have a sack engine on your side of the board. I'm sure.
I still don't want to play this even at 4. I don't like this card at all. This card is
Good.
bad.
you don't
Good,
like
because you'll
gain
target
control
my guy,
cards.
and then I'll shore up my guy, and then you'll be fucking sad.
I mean,
David-
it's like a typical threaten effect, which most of which come in at 4, and like it's got I'm using air quotes right now, although you can't see upside of you can pay 7. No, thank you.
Yeah.
The upside of 7.
Yeah, that kicker seems a bit excessive, honestly.
David's favorite part is the kicker, just because it's black.
Yeah, but it could have been 2. It could have been 1 colorless and a black. That'd have been fine.
I think that would have been a lot better for it.
Yeah.
Hey, it's still a common, guys. Would
You
know what? You're right.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Next up, we have Bone Splinters. Bone Splinters is 1 black mana for a sorcery. Has an additional cost to cast this spell. Sack a creature. Destroy target creature.
Beautiful
Dave.
reprint. I love
Solid
the
card.
artwork on this card.
Solid card, dude.
Really cool, huh?
Bone Splinters has seen play whenever it has been reprinted. I would be very shocked if it doesn't see play in standard this time around as well.
Yeah, it probably will. The amount of
David.
different token generators there are.
I'm the bigger man, David. I will agree. This is a good card, you know?
Hell
I
yeah.
like it. I like it.
You're just agreeing with me because you've already seen this thing see play before in standard, and you already know it's a good card.
It's a good card, dude.
Hey, you know what Braid says? Steel
say?
may be more durable, but nothing channels the spite of the unjustly dead like bone.
Yep.
Yep, we did it. I love the artwork on this card. That green pops.
It pops
I'm gonna get you-
off.
I'm gonna get you a foil, dude.
I don't like foils.
I don't like foil.
I know. Difficult.
The final common card from today that we're going to be talking about is Haunting Figment. Haunting Figment is 1 and a blue for a 2/1 creature illusion. It has vigilance. It says Haunting Figment can't be blocked as long as you've cast an instant or sorcery spell this turn. Did somebody say
Interesting.
pump effects?
That's interesting. Okay.
It's got vigilance too. Seems pretty good.
I feel like this might be a pretty decent card in limited if there is like the Spell Slinger deck that gets put together. I don't know if I'm super high on this in a constructed format though.
Yeah.
I think
I'm a blue player, and I kind of agree.
I think it's because it's blue aggro.
Which is, I mean, that's a thing, right? You showed me that deck, and I see it, but I don't know.
Yeah, blue aggro is kind of a thing in standard Delver.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this will see play. I think it'll be seeing play more than you expect. That's
Maybe it's
some bad dreams stay with you forever, you know?
Are we going to read every single one of these?
No, but if they're short and sweet, I will.
Okay.
Yeah, I do think this will see play. I'm a big fan of this card.
Yeah?
This pump spells, like I said. What can your opponent do? And then if you try to
kill
remove
spell
it,
it?
dude, put one of these.
Shore
Shore up.
Shore up, dude? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back all in, dude. Let's go.
All in, baby.
Shore Up untaps it. This obviously has vigilance, wasted opportunity.
My God.
Bad synergies.
Bad synergies. These next spoilers are not from today, but instead are from the top 3 most liked spoilers from the past week from the subreddit that we did not talk about, meaning they're either uncommon or commons. So starting with the 3rd most liked, we have Protect the Negotiators. Protect the Negotiators is 1 and a blue for an instant. It's got a kicker of white. It says if this spell was kicked, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token and counter target spell unless its controller pays 1 for each creature you control.
Interesting.
Seems like a good counter spell.
Does seem like a good counter spell at least for standard.
I think it's a good counter spell for anything that's running creature heavy.
I was gonna say, I mean, I think this might actually be even better in older formats.
Yeah.
Formats where it's like you are playing that Azorius, like I don't want to say like Azorius tokens, but anything where you are capable of making a couple of creatures, even if it's just like 2 or 3, because your opponent's going to get caught up and like they're probably not going to be able to play or to pay around this. Plus, if you do want to tap this thing for 3 and use the kicker, you're going to at least make them pay for 1, and that's assuming you had an empty board. I like this card a lot.
Oh yeah, I figured you'd do this when they tap out to play their like 3 spell or something. You
Don't
just
even have to
blow
tap
them
out
out.
at that point. Depends on how many creatures you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have 3 creatures on the board. You have to pay 3 to counter
That's
this.
true.
I mean, that's generally just not going to happen.
Exactly my point. This is a fantastic counterspell, and it will see play.
I agree.
Moving on to the second most liked from the past week, we have Pilfer. Pilfer is 1 and a black for a sorcery. This target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Look at Dave, Tiny Bones.
David loves.
I like the art.
The art's dope. You don't like the effect? I know you
Um,
say that the effect is better in elsewhere, but as far as just standard goes, 2 mana to do this is not bad.
Oh no! I think that this effect is honestly not very good. I think historically we've kind of seen the fact that if hand disruption is not a single mana, it doesn't get played. Like it's got to do something else if it costs 2. Because in the case that your opponent is going first, you're casting this, and your opponent's going to then lead in with 3 mana. Like they've already had the opportunity to play their 1-drop. They've already had the opportunity to potentially start setting up their board. It's just too slow at 2.
I don't know. I think it. Yeah, I don't know. The archetype is gone now that Turgid is rotating. So
Well, I mean, I'm not necessarily talking about like an archetype. If Turgid and stuff like that is live, then yes, this card has additional upside. I'm just talking about this like in a vacuum. Like I don't want to pay 2 mana to get information and be able to make my opponent discard a card, because at that point, chances are they've already got a threat deployed.
I guess it also depends on who goes first.
And yeah, and that's what I mentioned beforehand. Like if you are on the draw, like I feel like this is not a card you want to play.
Yeah. What do you think, Shane?
I think it's a strong card, but you like the art, and I'm tripping out about the art, dude. I want to know why it looks so animated. Doesn't feel like a Magic card. You know what I'm saying?
That's probably all that, like pinkish purplish.
And finally, let's move on to the number 1 most liked card that is not a rare or mythic from the past week on the subreddit, and that would be Relic of Legends. Relic of Legends is 3 generic mana for an artifact. You can tap it to add 1 mana of any color, and you can tap an untapped legendary creature you control, add 1 mana of any color.
This seems pretty good for EDH, unless I'm dumb.
I don't like this at all.
Why?
I don't like 3 mana rocks to begin with. I typically don't use them. Like the only exception would be like Chromatic Lantern, because it does so much more for you. And then I don't know. I just look at like tap the untapped legendary creature you control to add 1 mana. How often are you going to be tapping your commander to be producing mana? Because chances are that means that your commander is not going to be an active participant in the turn. Like most EDH generals, like they're going to have either like a clause where you want to be swinging in with it, or maybe you want to be tapping it, or something going on.
It could be anything. It doesn't have to be your commander, though.
I mean, I get that. I was just like, I'm looking at it from the lens of EDH, because unless you're playing really heavily like legendary creatures, I'm not expecting this to really pop off all too often with Commander. There is also another card out there. Oh, God, it's from like Kamigawa, the original Kamigawa, that does basically this exact same thing that already doesn't see play. It can't tap for mana on its own, but it does tap for another legendary creature. Honor, Warren,
this.
Shocking.
But that
Yep.
doesn't make mana, though.
Yeah, it does.
No. How? You get to tap it, and you just get 1 colorless mana.
Yeah, and
You
then
want-
you untap a legendary creature. You tap a legendary creature and you untap this.
Yeah, so you're always only making
2 or more.
colorless, though.
My point here being is if you have 3 legendary creatures, this taps for 4 mana in that turn.
I think this card's pretty good. On the lower side of the power spectrum when it comes to building decks.
Out of curiosity, was this in the 5-color precon?
No.
I feel like that's probably a missed opportunity considering this is an uncommon. I think it probably would have really benefited from being in it, but
That's
I don't
why
know.
they make you open packs to go and put it in the deck. It's great.
I don't see the reasoning for that for a uncommon or a common though.
Yeah.
Like this
Well,
this card is going to be what, 30 cents at the absolute most.
you talk to Wizards about it because they didn't even put a Soul Ring in the deck.
Holy shit!
Yeah. Everyone's like, "What?"
Is that the first time ever? Sorry, I'm not trying to derail this.
It's the first time since the beginning of Commander sets.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. But anyways. Yeah, so Relic of Legends. #1 most liked card. People think it's good.
Number 1.
I disagree with people, but
The
I don't know.
final three
Prove me wrong.
The final 3 cards we will be talking about is the most liked cards from our own Instagram. That is at Guys at Magic. So a lot of the times people will like these cards for their art, not necessarily what they do. So these are the top 3 most liked that aren't rare or mythics. So let's go ahead and get to them. Coming in at number 3, we have Monstrous War Leech. Monstrous War Leech is 3 and a black for a star creature leech horror. Got a kicker of 1 blue mana. It says, as it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, mill 4 cards. And its power and toughness are equal to the highest mana value among cards in your graveyard. Seems pretty good.
I mean, that artwork is pretty terrifying.
It is. What do you think about the card, Dave?
I'm actually not a fan of this card. 4 mana for, I don't know, a star is never really my favorite thing, especially considering this doesn't actually have any kind of additional evasion. 5 mana to mill, I guess, is cute, but I don't know. I'm still not a high on this card. I think more often than not, this is going to be either a 4 or a 5 mana card. That's probably going to be like a 4/4.
I did see something earlier that said there is a way to cheat in Shadow of Mortality into the graveyard. Turn 4, you have a 15/15 on the field.
I don't know. It's a like I look at it like it's a vanilla card. It's just a 15/15. It still dies to removal. It still gets bounced back to your hand. The deck falls apart to any kind of graveyard removal. Like even in the case you do have this as a 15/15, you swing and they block with their 1/1.
You
I
gotta have
don't.
more imagination.
I guess I do have to have more imagination. Maybe I'm missing the Fling reprint, but I didn't catch that. I'm not a fan of big smashy vanilla creatures that are not going to win me games.
Ooh, Fling is a thing. Well, actually, no, it's leaving. That's also leaving out of standard. But yeah, it's a possibility. You never know. All right, let's move on to our second most liked from our Instagram. This is interesting. This is Juniper Order Rootweaver. Juniper Order Rootweaver is 1 and a white for a 2/2 creature human druid. Has a kicker cost of 1 green. It says when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Very minimal effect.
Yeah.
Interesting that people like this card so much.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it makes your 2 mana 2/2 that you played on turn 2 of 3/3 that can attack in whenever you pay to cast this on turn 3.
That's
so
true.
3 mana 3/3.
No, 2 mana 3/3. This would be a 3 mana 2/2.
What?
It
Where's
puts
your
a
math?
+1/+1 counter on target creature you control. So you play a 2-drop that is not this. I'm assuming you're going to play a 2 mana 2/2 because that's just what I made up in my head.
Oh, okay.
And then turn 3, then you cast this, make your 2 mana 2/2 2 mana 3/3.
True.
All right.
I thought you were going to be talking about playing this for 3 mana and giving the counter to itself.
Why would I ever want to do that?
Now it's a 3 mana 3/3.
Nah.
That's an owlbear.
I don't like this card for standard. I think this card is actually completely fine and totally playable for limited.
Yeah, I agree.
You play like a 2-mana, I don't know, 1/1 with flying or some shit. There's always those little low to the ground flyers, and then you go ahead and drop a +1/+1 counter on it, and like there you go, 2/2 with flyer. That'll be able to get in for some damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. You make
I
a
think
good
this
point.
and the worm will both be fine in limited.
Yeah. The leech, you mean?
Whatever. War Leech. Limited.
All right, final card today. This is the most liked card from our Instagram. This is Phyrexian Warhorse. Phyrexian Warhorse is 3 and a black for a 3/3 creature Phyrexian horse. It's got a kicker of 1 white. It says when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. And you can pay 1, sacrifice another creature. A Phyrexian Warhorse gets +2/+1 until end of turn.
That's some fucked up flavor. But real quick, I need to ask the most important question. Shane,
Yes.
what sound does a Phyrexian Warhorse make?
Wah wah.
It's a fucking train.
It makes a train noise. Of course it does. Why not? Yeah, this is probably liked for the art because the art is absolutely terrifying.
Fucked up horse killing somebody, dude.
And it's killing its rider, man. They came in together.
I know. It's
You
pretty
summon him
cool.
up, dude. The little human there, he's like all pumped and ready to go. He's like, "How can I serve you, man? I'm gonna help out the team." Fucking pony over here, pissed off and trampling his ass.
He's like, "Give me your power." I'll take your power. I like it, dude. I like this card a lot. This is a good limited card.
I was gonna say I like it for limited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll play it in limited for sure.
I like it a lot. But that is going to be it. That is all of the spoilers. We are through Dominaria United. Spoiler season has concluded. What do you think about the set, guys?
I think it's great until the next standard set comes out in a week and we have to start talking about spoiler season then.
You're so stupid, dude.
Can you imagine every week? Spoiler season, spoiler season, spoiler season.
I mean, shit, we did go through a block though where it was like, I swear,
Yeah.
every like Monday you were texting us and you were like, "Dude, you got to get back on. We got to make another video." I was like, "Jesus Christ, the set just ended."
It really was, dude.
Hey, I'm excited to open this setup, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too, man. I think this is a
I'm gonna
very
get my
powerful set for standard.
I'm gonna get my fucking tabernacle, dude.
Tabernacle with a lily.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
David, you're gonna watch me do it.
All right.
All right.
I think I think this set is really dope. I may
Yeah.
come back and frolic through standard for a little bit until Arena tells me I need 50 fucking rare and mythic wild cards that
Oh, you will. You will, but
stupid ass hoops to acquire.
day one you're gonna need 50, dude, to build any deck. So
True.
pre-order 100 packs, David, like
All
everyone
right,
else.
cool. That gives me what, like 8 wild cards?
You probably get like 15, 20.
Sweet. Just do that 4 times.
Yeah.
But to the audience, leave a comment down below letting us know what you think of Dominaria United as a set and what you expect to see from it. What was your favorite card from the entire spoiler season? We're interested. Let us know. And while you're down there in the comments, look up just a little bit and hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Why are you waiting? We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Help us out. Help us get there. Almost. And hit that like button if you like the video. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and Twitter, because if you're following on our Instagram, you can like some of the cards for the next spoiler season. Maybe we'll talk about them at the end of that one too. And as always, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.